Is UFC 300 the best card ever? And how fucking good is Max Holloway? Before we get into that, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as we have brand new videos every single week. So UFC 300 is in the bag. And what a card, Mark, right? How good was this evening?
I think it looked good on paper and it delivered every
Yeah.
single, well, with the exception of one fight, every single fight delivered.
Yeah.
But, I'm a very tired boy here in the UK. The card has just finished. We've never done that before on the channel. We've done from the early prelims all the way to the main event.
Yeah.
What a card. It was worth it though, wasn't it? You can't experience that the next day. You've got to experience that live.
Yeah, definitely. This you ain't watching this with your Cocoa Pops in the morning. This is something you have to experience there and then. You cannot. This is a moment we'll remember forever, right? This is a card we'll remember forever. And of course, so much happened on the early prelims and the prelims. But like Mark said, we're very, very tired boys, so we're just going to go straight to the main card. Right. So, Mark, opening up the card, we had Bo Nickal with a second round submission over Cody Brundage. But Bo seemed very disappointed in his performance. Do you think he should be disappointed with himself?
Well, no, he got the finish, didn't he? I mean, maybe he just didn't get it as devastating fashion as what he would have liked. But I
Yeah.
mean, Brundage was defending quite well, especially in the first round. But hell, he got the decision. Bo Nickal's here to stay, and it'll be interesting to see him when he starts climbing the rankings a little bit more. It's early days still for Bo. Let's not jump straight on that hype train just yet. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun to see on the fight cards, but let's not start talking as if he's going to beat the world champion here.
No, definitely. And yeah, it was strange how disappointed he was with himself, but I think that kind of shows how hard he is on himself and like how much he expects from himself. He felt like he was going to run through Cody Brundage, and yet he did run through him technically. He got a second round submission. He couldn't ask for much better, but he wants to perform at that super high level, and he may struggle when he takes a step up. But Bo really did feel out of place on this main card, didn't he? He really stuck out like a sore thumb. At first I wasn't too bothered. Oh, it's fine, he's on the main card, but I think with his performance and sort of how the fight played out, I just don't feel like he should have been there, right?
Well, there's that, and there's the aspect of Cody Brundage because he's also on the main card as well. And you
Yeah.
go when the likes of like Yuri Prohaska, he's on the prelims. It just really sort of brings it into perspective, and you go, let's not push him to the moon just yet.
Yeah.
Like you say, a fantastic win, and we're even criticizing someone's second round submission. Cody didn't really offer too much to Bo,
No.
except for a good defense in the first round. Maybe it's just the standard that Bo Nickal does hold himself to, that he wants to be able to get these devastating finishes every single time and just run through the division. But I think he'd be in for a rude awakening the further up the rankings he does climb.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. But someone who's now moving up the rankings, Arman got the decision win over Charles Oliveira. Finally, one of these lightweights has been knocked from the top of this division. And so Arman is likely set to fight Islam Makhachev next. But, Mark, this was a very, very close fight, right? It felt like it could have gone either way. It was very, very close.
Absolutely. I mean, in the stream, someone was saying it could have even been a draw, and honestly,
Mm.
you couldn't really argue against that. There was moments for both guys. Submission attempts by Oliveira. Oliveira got cut. In the first round, that choke attempt, Armand did fantastic to get out of that. I thought for sure that was
Yeah.
over, because especially seeing as how we just caught his leg and he sweeped him, you think that mistake could have cost him big, and absolutely he knew it. Managed to pull it back, and he got a submission win. Charles looked great, but obviously it didn't go his way tonight. But it wasn't one of them where it wasn't a domination at all. It was so one way or the other. Both names are here to stay. But like you said, I'm glad that Arman is here now to hopefully shake up the very top of this division. This opens up for so many other interesting fights, which we won't get into right now. But I'm just glad that there is another name at lightweight rather than the same three or four guys.
Yeah, 100%. And, like you were saying, I thought it was over before it started. Charles Oliveira hooked in that guillotine, and he has a guillotine that Dustin Poirier wishes he had. And it felt like it was all over there and then, didn't it? And then even at the end of the third, Charles sunk in deep, and it looked like he was going to get another submission. At one point, it looked like Arman went limp, and I thought, oh, he's out. He's lost it. But, it was right as rain. And that's what I'm saying. It felt like that fight could have gone either way. And the same as you, I'm so glad that Arman's now near the top of this division. And maybe we'll get to see that Islam rematch because he made his short notice UFC debut against Islam and lost a close fight. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. But Mark, talking about climbing the top of the lightweight division, another man has fallen. Justin Gaethje got knocked out in the fifth round with 1 second left by Max Holloway. Mark, with Max and this performance that he's put on, did you expect him to look that good?
No, I absolutely didn't. Max looked like he is a natural lightweight, like he's always fought at that weight class. The- I think he caught Justin Gaethje at the very end of round one with a spinning back kick, which we presume broke his nose.
Yeah.
Since then, he were peppering him up. The very end of the fight, I said this in the stream. I said it couldn't have been wrought more perfect. On paper, this fight was excellent. It delivered all the way through. And the very end, when they're pointing down, let's stand and bang. 1 second left for the BMF title. I'm warming up to this BMF stuff, mate. I thought it was cheesy. I thought it was corny before, but if ever there's anyone deserving it, is Max Holloway. Obviously, he called out to Poirier after for the featherweight gold, but I'd kind of like to see him stick around at lightweight. Forget about Tuporia. Let
Yeah.
Volkanovski have his rematch. Let's see Max Holloway shake up this division because he absolutely belonged there. What a performance! The People's Main Event delivered 100%. One of the best fights I've seen in a long time.
Without a shadow of a doubt, it was an amazing performance. And even though I'd picked Max to win this fight, and I'd been saying all week, I think a lot of people are talking down Max Holloway quite a bit, and I think they should put more respect on his name. Even I didn't expect him to put on a performance that good. I mean, this feels like a fight that we'll remember forever. This is one we're gonna talk about in 10 years' time, without a shadow of a doubt. Max looked almost perfect. No, not even almost perfect. He was perfect. It felt like this division is his division. He looked like a fantastic size. He'd blown out just perfect. His conditioning was fantastic. His striking was perfect. He saw everything Gaethje was going to do before he did it. And honestly, and I was worried for Max the whole way through the fight. I thought, oh, he's got to be careful. Justin's got some cracking KO power. He could catch Max Holloway here. And then at the end, when he pointed to the ground, went, let's go, let's swing. I was like, oh, Max, you're making a mistake here. Justin is a finishing machine. Oh, never mind. And
Yeah, yeah.
Max cracked him a beauty. And I genuinely, I think you're right. Like, he did call out Ila Topuria and said, the El Matador is running from the bull. I don't want to see that fight. I want to see Max Holloway take on Islam Makhachev. I think with how good he looked, I'll pick him to beat anyone, even John Jones, even Francis Ngannou, even Tom Aspinall. He'll take them all, and I'm not bothered.
Oh yeah, just have him run the gauntlet, eh?
Yeah, might as well stick him in another weight class. But then, Mark, we move on to obviously my favorite fighter. Zhang Weili got the decision win over Yan Xiaonan. But Mark, did you expect Yan Xiaonan to look as good as she did in this fight?
Absolutely not. I mean, if when that fight stayed standing, Yan Xiaonan had many chances and she took them.
Definitely.
And this isn't anything against Yan. It's just the durability test, I guess, for Zhang. Yan Xiaonan can crack. She dropped Zhang twice, I think. But what's funny is Zhang got the decision win. She also got a submission win, and arguably could have got a TKO win as well in the second round. She beat her 3 times in one fight. Strange how that worked, wasn't it? The end of that round when she was out, and there was
Yeah.
obviously, should this have continued? well, obviously she was still in it, but it's a grey area, isn't it? But
Yeah,
I mean, I
definitely.
thought we were in for a quick night to
No,
watch this one as well. But Yan Xiaonan proved that she is the top contender. She wasn't just a look at the draw when she caught Jessica Andrade. She has some serious power in there, and Zhang knew that as well. Fatigued wasn't the word. Her arms were like bloody
jelly.
spaghetti
Yeah.
after, and you're like, but their submission attempts, their ground and pound strikes, it's a combination of everything. Fatigue, but that championship mindset, China versus China delivered. I thought it
Yeah.
was a great fight, back and forth. Both women were in this until the very end.
100%. And like you were saying, the end came three times, didn't it? At the end of the first, when she was choking her out, I thought, oh, that's it. It's over. And carried on. Near the end of the second, I thought, right, Herzog's going to call this off. There's about 30, 40 unanswered strikes here. Oh, no, we're still going. And I think I'd have been very, very disappointed if Yan would have knocked out Zhang Weili there. Not just because she's my favorite fighter, but because I feel like she was taking away two finishes in the first two rounds. And you just think, that's such a pain in the ass, isn't it? If she's lost over that when she's already won twice already. But Mark, I know you were saying it was a long night, but what was not a long night was Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Wow. What a performance, because Hill was not intimidated at all, but I think that might have been a bit of his downfall. I think he stopped respecting that ability that Alex Pereira had, and he got caught with a big left straight, got dropped and got finished.
You can't stand in front of Alex Pereira. You can't stand in front of Jamal Hill either. But just in the sense that it was almost poetic in the sense of it looked to be like a groin strike. Referee come over and Alex sort of battered him away, and then the next thing to touch him was his left hand. Round one finish. I mean, I zigzagged this week. I thought originally I
Mm.
was going Alex, and then just before the fight, I says, no, I think Jamal Hill might catch him. Anyone who wasn't sure of Alex Pereira, surely they've been shut up now. I swallowed my pride and I admitted defeat. A year ago when he beat Israel? Yeah, fair enough. Come on. Alex is here to stay. He's a monster in the light heavyweight division, and this is the first time that the belt's been defended in how long?
2020, 2021, something like that, with Yan versus Izzy. It's been a long, long time, and Alex Pereira has broken that light heavyweight curse. And I'm kind of glad, though, to be honest, because as I said, over this week, I've really started to like Jamal Hill. He seemed really cool. He was putting some great promos in. He seemed to be taking this fight serious. But this division has felt like it's been dying since the second John Jones left, right? And now it's good to finally have a good, strong, firm champion who seems like he's here to stay. And I'm really, really excited to see what's next for both guys. But that has been UFC 300. The early prelims were fantastic. The prelims were great. And the main card really delivered. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, it really does help us out.